What's up, guys? Welcome to Talking to Fans, episode 14. Before we get into this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please do it. Today's guest is Justin.zw. What is up?
What's up, guys?
Alright, so you're into baseball. Who's your favorite MLB team?
Probably either the Mets or the Padres. But I really like the Dodgers as well.
So it's kind of a toss-up between all those three teams?
I'm more like, I look-key like to watch players more than teams.
Got you. So, in that case, that kind of leads me to ask, who is your favorite player in baseball?
Well, my favorite player in the league right now, I really like Tatis and Lindor. But my favorite player of all time is probably Ozzy.
Ozzie Smith, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you play baseball, I'm guessing, right? What got you into playing and what got you into this game in general?
Just when I was younger, my dad gave me a bat, and I fell in love with it. Really.
Okay, so I was going to ask who inspired you to get into this game, but you kind of already answered that. All right. What position do you play?
I play shortstop.
It's awesome, and what you just said, Tatis and Lindor, that kind of fits perfectly with you being a shortstop as well. Who is a creator that kind of inspired you? Because you got some followers over there on your account.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. It's like started off with me being bored and just like kind of after a few videos, people reached out to me and like talked to me about baseball just in general and how like the videos kind of inspired them. So really just inspire people.
Awesome story. That's kind of what I'm trying to do, inspire people, but grow the game. I love growing the game and everything like that. So that's what inspires me to do my videos. And if there's a creator for y'all to have this answer, the creator that probably inspires me the most, because I have a few, but the creator that inspires me the most to make my videos and what I'm doing for you guys now is Fuzzy.
Fuzzy's nice. I like Little Man as well.
Yeah, he's up there. He's probably a top 10 for me. Most people are probably going to get me for that, but there's a lot of creators that I like better than Little Man, but to the fans of Little Man, I still appreciate him. I still like the guy a lot. I love his content, but there's creators kind of top it for me, like Austin Kletchka. I don't know if y'all know who that is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Austin Kletchka, who is Spidey from Dodger Films.
Yeah.
Fuzzy, Kooks46, Baseball Dad, me and him are friends. We got ice, we're also friends. So it's a good experience with what I'm doing for y'all and what I'm doing with this account to grow the game is a good experience behind the scenes. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm trying to think of another question real quick.
Okay.
What is your opinion on the Sandy Alcantara 5-year, $55 million contract signing?
Can you repeat that? I couldn't hear that one.
What is your opinion on the Sandy Alcantara 5-year, $55 million deal re-signed with the Marlins?
Oh, I didn't hear about that. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, so yesterday, there were a whole lot of signings yesterday. There were probably about 5 signings. I can't even name all of them right now. But he was one of like 5 signings yesterday. 5 years, $55 million. He just re-signed with the Marlins.
I mean, I would definitely do that. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I think it fits perfectly for what he's caliber of, though, because we've seen what he's been caliber of these last 3 years. He had a really good season for the Marlins this year. He's probably their number one starter right now. I had to guess for them. That Marlins rotation is going to have some studs in the future. They already got Pablo Lopez up here. He's a pretty good weapon. Edward Cabrera, he could be pretty nasty. Same with Sixto Sanchez. So they're gonna be tough to beat in the future. I feel like we got him for a while, but it's not gonna be easy to win this NL East when they get good, which can be another 2 years. They're that close.
Yeah. True.
Another young team that is talking about a lot of signings and talking about signing a lot of people is the Tigers. And what do you think they can do if they get guys like Correa and others?
I mean, getting like a few guys like Correa could honestly be like a 2017 Dodgers team. We could like build up like it is now, and maybe be an all-star team later.
I think they could, and signing Correa and having him back with Alex Cora is a weapon and a good chemistry that we're gonna see for a while. So that's kind of my opinion.
Yeah, I think it could be good though.
I think it will be good, and I think the Tigers are going to be up there for the White Sox for that NL Central in 3 years. I think we can see it.
Yeah.
The team I want to talk about in their pitching is the Angels. What do you think they need to do to get good? I think we all know they got to sign pitchers. That's their must-do right now.
I mean, like, really just be consistent. Because, like, they give up a lot of home runs and, like, not necessarily have to depend on Shohei. Because, like, I felt like they would have to sometimes. I remember one time they pitched him, like, 2 times in 1 week. I think it was, like, 2 or 3. I don't remember. It was, like, 2 or more times in 1 week. Like, I don't think they had anybody else to depend on to step up and be a leader.
I agree. And that puts a lot of pressure on Shohei, and to depend on one guy is not good. Even to depend on 2 guys. And I think everyone knows you got to have a complete team with winning the World Series. And I think with the general manager of the Angels being gone, I don't know his name, but with the general manager of the Angels being gone, I think that's a win. Because all he would do for years, sign bats, but no pitching.
Yeah, they didn't focus on pitching at all.
The only guy other than Shohei that they got, and he was only good for like a year, was Dylan Bundy.
I mean, you can't win a World Series with only headache.
No, you can't. I could see the Angels going after Scherzer.
Oh, yeah.
And who else on the market? If the Dodgers somehow release Trevor Bauer, which I don't know that's going to happen, and if they release him, I don't know if anyone's going to sign him, but the Angels could also be in for Trevor Bauer, along with a lot of young, good pitching.
Do you know, like, about the Trevor Bauer situation, like, when he's coming back and all that?
I don't know. So the thing I heard is he wasn't guilty, I think. And as we know, he's still posting. He's started posting on social media again when the postseason happens. The thing is, I don't know if he is going to come back because he started posting on social media earlier than he should have had. Because no one really wanted him to start posting again, and no one is really caring about his posting again, especially me. Like, I love Trevor Bauer, I love the vlogs, but what he did, I don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah.
But what he did was obviously bad, and who knows if he even did it. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's still found guilty or he's unguilty. I'm really not sure the whole situation. Last I heard, he was not guilty, but we're just going to have to see how long this drags out, because this is not done dragging out for Trevor Bauer.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I hope he can come back, though, because he's a good pitcher.
He's a good pitcher.
Just not against the Padres, though.
Yeah, he's a good pitcher, and he also grows the game, and that's what we need right now. And what are you for? Are you for the bat flips?
What would you say?
Are you for the bat flips and players showing emotion and all that? Yeah.
I mean, like, if you get mad about somebody, like, this is for, like, umpires and pitchers. If you can get mad for somebody, like, celebrating after hitting a home run, just don't let them hit one. That's, like, all you can do. And, like, I think pitchers should be able to show emotion when they strike somebody out, like Trevor Bauer does.
Yeah, I think anyone.
No problem with it.
Yeah, and this goes for anyone. I think anyone can show emotion. Hitters with the bat flips. I mean,
yeah.
I think we all can agree with this. With no emotion before, the game was not as fun to watch. It was still fun to watch, but emotion brings a lot of viewership into baseball, and the bat flips do. It brings people that aren't into baseball, getting people into baseball, getting people into the game. Bat flips and just celebrations like the Tatis stutter step at third, for example, that brings viewership into baseball.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I just wanted to say this real quick. What is a tip you have for young baseball players?
Just like in general, if you're on a team, just always be loud. Try to be a leader, stand out, be fast, move, have good energy all the time. Don't be that kid that you strike out or make a mistake. Always like keep your head down and start whining. Just always like be positive.
Yeah.
Just be a leader.
All right, who is a underrated team going into next season, in your opinion? And another thing to go with that is, who is a underrated team going into the off season as well?
You said overrated?
Underrated.
I think the Oakland A's. They didn't have the worst season. I'm like, I think they had a really good team. I just think they didn't show what they really had.
I think so, and with that market too, it's kind of tough to sign a lot of good talent there and sign a lot of big contracts and do all that because of Oakland's market.
Mm-hmm.
But I could definitely see Oakland doing something, but they got to try and find a way to not trade Olsen. I think that's a big one.
Yeah.
And they got to re-sign Matt Chapman. Even if they let one of those two guys go, in my opinion, I don't feel like it's going to be the same in Oakland.
No.
And with their budget, it's going to be really hard to sign someone to recover Matt Olsen and Matt Chapman because of that budget.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think losing Matt and Olsen could be like a big turnaround.
It could.
In the organization.
The thing is, we saw it. If they can get Olsen and Chapman back, then they can be a playoff team. But it's going to be tough with teams like the Mariners, Yankees, Red Sox. Those teams are not going anywhere in general. You got teams like the Angels, who if they shine pitching, they're going to show up. They're going to be in that race. Similar to this year, it could be a great finish to that wild card race. It came down to the last day of the season. That's the thing last year. And if we see teams do what they need to do in the AL, that could be a thing next year as well. All right. So you said you're kind of into the Dodgers when they won the World Series in 2020. How did that kind of make you feel?
I mean,
like you're not a big.
Wait. What did you say? It like broke out a little bit. Sorry.
Oh, that's good. So I know you're not. You say you were kind of a little bit into the Dodgers when, well, right now. How did that make you feel when they won the World Series in 2020? Like, what was the first thing to go through your mind?
I mean, back in 2020, I cared more about singular players, but now I care about singular players a lot more than teams, basically. Really, I just really enjoyed watching Bellinger play in 2020 when he was at his best. I like Justin Turner as well, just people like that. I don't know, Austin Barnes, their catcher. I really like watching him play too. So it was just a proud moment for those few players on the team, really.
Yeah. One question I have is, you said you're into Francisco Lindor. We all saw it. He had a down season for his talent last year. I think he's going to bounce back, but
yeah, I think too. I mean, I don't really know what it is because he's definitely not confident in himself. It's definitely not a confidence problem. I don't know what it is.
And one thing that could be in the conversation is he just had to fit into New York. He just had to find his spot.
Oh yeah, chemistry.
That's the
team.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, you can't. I don't know if you can use that as an excuse though, because Anthony Rizzo had a pretty good season, and he had to bounce to New York. Same with our right fielder.
Yeah.
Rangers.
New York, I think, as we know, is a tough place to play in for some players. Some players own the moment, some players do not. Mm-hmm. The thing is, with Mets fans, I think we can agree with this. And the thing with Yankees fans too is they're so into everything. And I mean, we saw it with Jose Altuve. In my opinion, maybe the right thing to do. I'm not sure yet, but the Yankees fans say F Altuve, and especially during the playoffs. Another YouTuber that kind of inspires me as well is Zach Campbell. I watch his videos, and he always goes to Yankee Stadium during the postseason, and all I see is just people saying bad stuff to the pitchers, the opposing pitchers before the game.
Oh yeah, I don't think that's necessary, honestly.
No, I don't. I think Yankees fans take it too much to next level. I'm not saying every Yankees fan does, but to the Yankees fans that do, just stop.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
Because, whenever they do that, it kind of makes the team look bad, honestly. Because, in the College World Series, whenever it was Vanderbilt and Mississippi State, the Vanderbilt fans were, calling a few, the black players slurs and stuff. And this made, the whole community look really bad.
I bet.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, when you take it to the next level in baseball, and the thing for us is we're trying to grow the sport, and we're trying to keep it family friendly at the same time. And I think people don't know how to handle it, especially fans.
Yeah.
And then that just causes a lot of chaos to college communities, as you just said, and just MLB team communities in general.
Yeah, this is honestly ridiculous, though. Like, as an adult, not being able to control yourself, it's just kind of immature, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, we all have every right to cheer for our team, but
Yeah.
when you call the opposing team's pitchers bad stuff, I don't want to say it because we're on YouTube, but
Yeah.
bad stuff, we'll just keep it at that. It's kind of hectic, and it makes your team look bad. And it makes your fan base look bad.
Yeah,
like,
it makes your fan base look bad, yeah.
That's, like, I don't hate the Yankees, but I feel like maybe this is the fact, I'm not sure, but to everyone, or to most people who hate the Yankees, maybe they hate the Yankees because of their fans.
I'm not gonna lie, I think that's what it is. Like, as a Yankees fan, I'm not really proud of our fan base, so I don't really pay attention to that, really. I just enjoy watching some of them play, like Aaron Judge. Really enjoy watching him play.
Yeah, Aaron Judge is a beast.
Yeah.
That leads me to the next question is, do you think the Yankees are going to re-sign Judge and give him a monster contract?
I'm gonna honestly, I think they should. I think that would be a good decision because, like, without him, it's gonna have somebody that didn't get much playing time last year. But I don't know how confident they are with that.
Yeah, I feel like they need to lock up Gallo this offseason as well. I feel like getting Gallo back, that outfield with Judge, Gallo, and Stanton is pretty good.
Yeah.
And Gallo proves he's been a good defender in left. And Judge has proved he can do pretty solid in center. And either you could DH Stanton or play him in right. And the thing with playing him in right is right field is not the hardest position to play. It may be the easiest position to play in all of baseball out of every position.
Mm-hmm.
It's still hard. Obviously, it's still hard to play any position in baseball, but out of every position you can possibly play in this game, right field is probably the easiest.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were going to ask this. I was curious what your thoughts were on, like, when Tatis got moved to the outfield. You had any thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is I think it was good because the Padres were trying to make a run, and they're still trying to stay in the thick of things in in August and September as their fall happens.
Yeah.
And having Fernando Tatis in that lineup, was a really big weapon, and the only way they could put him in the lineup is him play center, right, or left, and they didn't want him playing shortstop. So I think it was a good decision because the Padres, they finished pretty bad, but they could have finished worse if they didn't make that decision.
Yeah, that's true.
And another thing is, we're seeing Cronenworth make great plays at short for a couple weeks when Tatis went down. I think that factored into it too, because the Padres said, okay, this kid Cronenworth, he can play short, and then we'll find a second baseman somewhere. And that was Jerickson Profar, who is a really good second baseman and has played second base and owned that position in the past. So that's kind of my opinion on it. What is your opinion on it?
I really agree with you. I mean, you can't really hold it against him much, but I don't think he did as best he could in the outfield. I like seeing him in the infield a lot. He had some of the most errors, but he definitely had a lot more ground balls than any other shortstop or infielder in MLB. That still shouldn't be an excuse.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't really think it's that much of a problem him being in the outfield. Really, if he can come back and like work on his outfield and spring training and all that stuff and be good at it, I think he can still play there, make plays, still be in the lineup, help them with offense.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that part. And do you think the Padres will make some sort of run next year? That's the next question.
I think they can. I think I'm not gonna say that like team chemistry held them up, but like I don't really know what else to say. I mean, they didn't make like a lot of errors. They didn't give up like a ton of home runs. It's just like the ball got hit times, places and times where it would have been best that it didn't happen. Yes.
Yeah, and that's the thing with baseball is you have a stretch of just bad luck.
Yeah.
But at some point, and I think we all know this who play baseball, that stretch is going to come to an end. Good things will go your way.
Yeah.
I can take this as an example for Braves fans and for all of us. 2018, bad things happened to us in the postseason where we lost to the Dodgers in 4 games because we had some bad luck in that series. I think the freeze base hit in the 6th inning, if any of y'all remember that, I think that was kind of a little bad luck as well because it just got under the glove of, I think it was Ozzie. And then Ozzie dropped that pop-up a couple batters prior, which set up that beginning.
Yeah.
And then in 2019, same thing with the Cardinals. We had a Goldschmidt home run who set up the 6 runs in the last 2 innings of Game 1 in that series, which we came back in Game 2. We won Game 2 3-0, courtesy with Adam Duvall's big home run with the pinch hit to Fultonevich. And then Game 3, Dansby Swanson and Adam Duvall again came up with a big hit. But Game 4 and Game 5, we ran into some bad luck, especially in Game 5. And then we all know what happened with the Dodgers series last year. And then this year, we all know what happens as well, where we came up clutch in the postseason. Dansby Swanson and Jorge Soler's back-to-back home runs in the World Series is one of them. So that's all I got to say about that. All right. Where do you think Javier Baez is going to sign this offseason?
I mean, I think you like to be a center of a team, so honestly, I think he might go to Houston. That wouldn't be a bad choice.
Yeah, that's an option that I've talked about plenty of times as well. I mean, if Correa leaves, they're going to be in a big spot, and they're going to go out and try to get either Baez or Seager or even Story. I think it's going to be more between Baez and Story if Correa decides to leave.
Yeah, for sure.
And the other thing is, for those players, they got to decide, do we want to go play in Houston? Do we want to go play for this franchise because of what they've did in the past? And that is obviously why Correa is leaving, is because he doesn't want to deal with the pressure for the rest of his career. Because I don't think the cheating pressure from a lot of fans are going to go away.
No.
And Correa is going to be a player that they're going to be obnoxious to, especially in Houston, especially for opposing stadiums. Their fans are going to be obnoxious to Correa.
That's true.
So I think that plays in a big factor why he doesn't want to go back. And again, that plays into a big factor of, for players, do we want to sign here even if they're going to give us our biggest offer? That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
like, for me, I'm over the cheating scandal. I wasn't, but I've kind of gotten over it now. I'm still mad at the team. I'm still mad at why they cheated, because they didn't need to cheat. They had the talent to win anyway.
Yeah, that's a point.
But it's still kind of disgraceful. But yeah, that's my opinion on the Astros and if they can re-sign one of their shortstops or get a shortstop. One question I got is another signing. Where do you feel like Seager's going to land?
I mean, honestly, this far in his career, he has a ring, doesn't he?
He does, yes.
I mean, like, I think honestly, if I were him, I would go play with my brother. Like, that would be pretty cool.
That would.
Because I don't really think he cares about getting another ring. I think he really cares about having fun and like building relationships for when he's done playing for the game.
Yeah. I think playing with his brother Kyle would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And their chemistry is really good, and that could lead the Mariners. I know he's not interested in winning a championship at his most, but that could set up a good couple of guys and the Mariners go off and win a championship in the next 5 years. I think we can definitely see that. A thing I got is, do you think the Mariners will play well next year and get to the postseason for the first time in, 22 years?
I mean, I'm not going to lie, I don't think so. Because they didn't really show like much last year, but this past year.
Yeah, but it's kind of a tough decision to make because they're so close to making the playoffs, but also what's the ownership going to do?
Yeah.
Because the ownership for them has proved in the past, we want to keep players down the minor leagues for service time. Like, they came out, they said it before this offseason, the general manager got fired. So, yeah, and the last question I got before we end this, because we've been on for a while, do you think the Braves will re-sign Freddie? And if you don't, where do you think he's going?
Honestly, like I've heard from a lot of people that I've talked to, I think they should. And honestly, I think he would think about retirement if he doesn't like get signed, re-signed to Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't see where he'd be at without us re-signing him. Him wearing another uniform, in my opinion, it doesn't look right. Yeah. And with Freddie being my favorite player, I'm not being biased or anything, but just him in another uniform really doesn't look right for what he's done for our organization, him getting the championship this season, and just everything he's done in his 14 years being here since he got drafted in 2007. All right, and I think that's going to end it. Thank you for coming on. And do you want to tell everyone your Instagram and TikTok before you get off?
My Instagram is just, and then the number 10 word, and then my TikTok is justin.zw.
All right. Again, thanks for coming on. We might do some content together. I don't know. We'll see. But for right now, peace out, everybody.